Aloha to everyone. Let's continue with Geralt of Rivia and Keira Metz.
While searching for the witch Ciri had quarreled with, Geralt ran into an old friend, Keira Metz. The sorceress told the Witcher about a masked mage. Ciri had seemed to have taken shelter in his hideout. The Witcher set off to find it, with Keira in tow. Ciri had never reached the elven mage, yet the wild hunt had. The ghostly retinue was one step ahead of Geralt, or so it seemed. The Witcher felt that all was lost, until Keira gave him a new lead. The Crones of Crookback Bog.
First, interesting book. First, we're gonna finish this secondary quest.
What are you doing here?
What? The sun flying from the moon? We're making offerings to the All-God, clearly.
You too can seek his aid. That's if you've got fitting offerings. He scorned ours, then cursed the old village.
The All-God, you call him. First I've heard. Is some new deity?
Nay, 'tis ancient, revered by our forefathers. They say it were like this. Roslav of Oriton came here to gather brushwood. Suddenly, for no reason, a bush burst into flame. Then, Roslav heard a voice from the ground, demanding offerings and obedience.
We've been coming here since then, bearing gifts, in exchange for which the All-God watches over us, keeps us from evil.
Mm-hmm. Plain to see that. So, what's wrong with your offerings?
You needn't mock us, you can see right well we brought scraps. Before the war, I wouldn't give this such to me elms. But what can we do? Such are the times.
And they're like to get worse. All-God said if he don't get a rafter of bacon and a barrel of beer at least, the rivers will fill up with frogs and locusts or some such will devour the harvest.
I could intercede on your behalf with this All-God of yours. Got a feeling we'd come to an understanding.
Well, I suppose it can't hurt to try. To speak with him, you have to stand before the altar and cry out, "All God, help a poor wretch in need." Who knows, he might just listen to a foreigner.
A greedy god.
Oh, All-God, help a poor wretch in need. Pretty please.
How dare you disturb my divine rest, mortal?
I dare disturb it because I want your divine self to lift the, curse you cast. Those peasants really don't have.
They must bring worthy offerings or they shall face drought, driving hail, earthquakes, avalanches. I have spoken.
Avalanches? Here? How would that work? No answer from the All-God. Fine. We can finish our conversation when I find him. Voice came from underground. There's something here. Need to use the eye.
A decoction. Alright. I can try this one. Interesting. Whoa.
What? Who dares disturb my divine being?
Geralt of Rivia. Pleasure.
Divine beauty.
Expected the All-God to be corporeal in form, but never thought he'd be corpulent. Fattened up nicely at those peasants' expense.
Expense? Expense? Not a word about the help I give in return. Blessings, absolutions, enlightened advice. Believe me, these folks need all of it. I'd watch over them still if they fulfilled their end. But lately they offer these pathetic scraps.
That they steal from the mouths of their children, and to make matters worse, you cast a curse on them.
And I'll not lift it till they bring me worthy offerings. I'm to settle for curds and whey? Not a chance. And you can tell them that.
I have already made my decision. First, let's choose the option 4.
Been in this hole long?
For a century or so. One winter I found shelter here. Built a fire so large the flames leapt through the crack, lit the bushes above. I coughed from the smoke, and suddenly heard a peasant. A voice out of nowhere, he called. A miracle. Thus, I became a god.
Parasite, more like.
Maybe so. But what of Freya and Melitele then, Demanding prayers and offerings, given naught in return? I talk at least.
Well, all of your parasites. So,
Got an idea how to resolve this.
indeed.
I'll just kill you.
Just as I dare. Whoever looks upon my godliness must die!
So, potion. We need this. Whoa, whoa. Yeah. That was Igni. So we killed the parasite. Enhanced Moondust. That's wonderful. A lot of it the stun. Actually, a lot of it doesn't deserve to read about him because he killed those swans, man. That's ridiculous. Huh. Now. We see. Oh, I need 2 items. I can meditate to replenish my decoctions and potions and bombs. Let me just see. So arbitrator, I need. This sword has 3 sockets. So need the chance to stagger. I have only Gwen and adrenaline point. Alright, I will buy them from Keira. That's why. Viewing them.
Anything new?
Indeed. You should be happy.
Got good news. Your god's dead. It was actually a run-of-the-mill monster. Sentient but mean. Took advantage of you. You went hungry, while it grew new chins.
What have you done? The old god warned us. Said if he ever departed, death would await us all. Come on, Tribor. We must tell the others. Only group prayer can save us now.
Oh, I'm grateful. As usually. Not uneasy. Being a witcher. So there is usually somewhere nearby a chest. Just let me see where it was. Oh, here it is. And we have a bomb. Oh. Invitation from Keira. Here we have a fast travel. Oh, here too. Medium.
Slow now. Whoa.
Whoa, whoa. And here is this guy. Ooh. The fracas. Good always have a potion. Ooh, that's bad, that sucks. Pretty bad. Ooh! Double fast attack. That's interesting.
Show me what you got.
Oh, come on, not again. Ooh! Those are us. You saw, with Igni it is really easy, but my build is not using this advantage.
Move it.
You can easily make your fine intensity so high that your burning chance will be, come on Roach, will be over 100% if you use the sign builds, sign skills, and you have a greater mutagen here and here. Quite easy.
The rats, why did he need them?
Bloody rodents. Better to have stuffed them with a poison or crushed them into a pulp with a shovel, but no.
Keira, what are you doing?
Geralt, you gave me quite a start.
But nay, the mage, he says, bring me rats and healthy ones. Not something the cat dragged in.
This the lamp from the elf's hideout? And what's this about rats?
Nothing important. I'll explain later. Now tell me, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Why do you want the lamp?
You just witnessed why. To communicate with lost souls.
Didn't know you were interested in that kind of magic.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Why'd the elf promise you the lamp?
We traded for it. He needed powerful magic and sensed I was no common wart charmer. I brewed him a potion. To delay nervous tissue degeneration, stave off memory loss or some such.
Who'd he want to use it on?
He didn't say.
Bet the old witch who lived here left you a bunch of interesting sundries.
She did indeed. I gather you'd like a look.
Very much so.
Indeed. So here's the place where you can reset your ability points, but it's quite costly. The stagger. And I need the adrenaline. Adrenaline point gain. About the Gwen, yes, here it is. Coincide intensity. And junction of the spheres. Alright. These 3 books. Chart lure. We're gonna need this alchemy recipe. Now. Oh, we need just quicksilver solution. Very important bomb, you know why? Decoctions, nothing for now. Maybe the water hack, I didn't have it. Yes, I have it, but still had to kill the water hack. Oils. Yes, superior hangmans. I need blood moss, green mold, yes, the power spot. That would be to get for now, because I need to kill the devours, which are the upgraded version of Rot Fiends. Here, I have everything. That's good.
Any news of your sisters from the lodge?
None. We can't know too much about one another these days. It's safer that way.
Even tried to contact one another?
I've wanted to many times. But I've no way of knowing who would answer, or who might be listening.
So, Bet you saw this question coming. What are you doing here?
Let me think. Enjoying the country air? Admiring the unspoilt scenery? Or is it furthering the age-old alliance between the city and its breadbasket? No. I'm in hiding, Geralt. Blind to the state of the world? Don't you see what's happening?
Mean the persecution mages now face?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Radovid's new pastime. Pursuing anyone with a whiff of magic about them. Witch hunters. Sound familiar? Murderers scouring the north from end to end, burning books, hanging soothsayers, torturing herbalists.
So how's it feel to be the village witch?
Horrid.
No joy in having the boundless respect and trust of the local peasantry?
They'd respect anyone who could produce hemorrhoid cream.
Been here a while, haven't you?
Long enough for rot to set in. You cannot possibly imagine how much I detest this place.
Picked a strange place to hide.
I didn't pick anything. In the north, Radovid's men hunt sorceresses like fish in a barrel. Nilfgaard controls the south. Where was I to flee?
Emperor does keep mages on a short leash, but he lets them live and ply their trade.
Radovid and Emma differ in every respect except one. They share a deep hatred of the Lodge of Sorceresses. And I was a member.
Changing the subject. Mentioned you wanted something from me.
I did, and still do. The Cursed Isle on Lake Windammer. You've heard of it, I'm sure. The local peasants mumble incessantly about it, about the wraiths that haunt it. They claim none who go there return.
I managed to. But while on the island, I did sense something strange. How'd it come to be cursed?
That's what I don't know. I must break this spell, yet I've been unable to identify its source.
Gotta know something.
Scraps. The curse is somehow linked to the tower where Serad, the lord of these lands, took refuge when Nilfgaard invaded. Claims in the village are that peasants, desperate of hunger, sailed to Fyke Isle to beg for food. Met their end there. It was a massacre. So, will you please help me lift this curse? You're so good at these things.
Sure, why not?
So the peasants who went to the island for food, this lord had them murdered?
The villagers say he had them poisoned.
A real gentleman.
Well, I never met him. But he certainly didn't seem such a cruel man, judging by what a mage from the Isle told me.
A mage lived on the island? Did you know him? Where is he now?
We were friends. Sadly, he died that day as well. Very few survived. Yet even those who escaped the Isle soon suffered agonizing deaths. Strangely, they did not seem to have been poisoned.
Why are you so intent on this?
I'm not, the local peasantry is. The Isle, miss, you've got to lift the charm. You're a good witch, a great witch. There's no end to it.
Uh-huh. See, I thought you didn't care for the locals. The great witch you are.
I failed to lift the curse, and they could conclude I'm not so great. Not enough to conceal me from the witch hunters and risk getting sent to the gallows themselves.
What others think, your image, that's all you care about.
The point is, listen, I didn't flee to these wilds just to stupidly get caught because some boar with grit under his fingernails grows annoyed with me.
Alright, alright.
Alright, I'll help.
I knew you'd find it irresistible. Naturally, you'll need to sail to Fyke Isle.
I find it irresistible.
Well, the spirits who wander the Isle, you must establish a rapport with them. Don't know how, but they could point us in the direction of the curse's source.
Think they'll be willing to chat?
Of course, provided you take my magic lamp with you. I shall let you keep it afterwards in appreciation. You'll find it quite useful, I'm sure.
Can't you just come with me?
I tried to go to Fyke Isle once. Thought my head would burst, the curse's magic was so strong.
Nice of you to send me there.
I experienced an acute nasal hemorrhage. You stand to endure a wobble of your medallion at most. At Aretusa, they trained me to detect even the subtlest magic pulses.
This was like getting smacked across my haunches with a grain flail.
Funny. Thought you'd go in for that sort of thing.
Take my boat. I left it on the lake shore near the village. Should be fit to use. Provided rot hasn't eaten it, as it seems to eat everything here.
How's the lamp actually work? I mean, do I just rub it, or do I have to do something, magical?
You needn't even rub. Just place it where you find bones and hear whispers. I suppose I should warn you, it might not be the most pleasant experience.
Figured as much. Tell you all about it later, maybe skip the drastic bits.
You'll need to do neither. I'll give you a Xenovox. It's a bauble that will let us speak over some distance. You will tell me what you see, and I shall tell you what to do and look for.
Never heard of a Xenovox.
It works just like a megascope, but is far more portable. Think of it as a magic box that talks.
They hard to build?
Extremely. That's why they're so rare. I certainly couldn't build anything like it.
So no chance these Xenovoxes will catch on with every mage using one?
Not the slightest.
So where'd you get the Xenovox?
Found it in the mine along with the lamp. Thought it was part of the lamp at first. Didn't realize what I'd actually found until later.
Think it belonged to the elven mage?
Clearly. And I didn't even know the elves used them.
I need to know anything else before I go?
No, that is all.
Oh, go already. I can't wait to see what you discover on Phi Kyle. Just be sure to come and see me afterwards. And Geralt.
Thank you.
Finally, someone who is grateful. Now, let me see. Oh, I do have all the glyphs. 1, 2, 3. And all of them. Wonderful. A Towerful of Mice. Actually, I don't need Roach. Come on, buddy. Stay here. Drowners, of course. Who else will be here? Well, come here. Ooh, those two bolts. Oh, come on, they always somehow survive on 1 HP. That's that much. Hey, man. This is scripted. We will travel by boat. In this rainy weather. Man, that villain like Geralt is always wet.
Geralt, can you hear me? How goes it? Where are you?
Almost there.
Splendid. I shall contact you again soon.
Wait, this Xenovox. Can I contact you with it, or is it one way?
One way only, I'm afraid. You'll have to trust my feminine intuition.
Your what?
My feminine intuition!
Wonderful.
I should integrate this phrase and response. When a woman says, "You should trust my feminine intuition," I should say, "Wonderful." Whoa, whoa, whoa. Can you hear that ghost?
Geralt? Are you on the Isle yet? Does the Xenovox work? Can you hear me?
What? I can't hear.
Oh. Should repair it.
Great, broke already. Sheesh, short this magic.
What did you say? There's some interference. You must be very careful.
I'll be, Keira. I'll be. Oh, that was risky. Come on, Dranar, don't be so boasting about lowering my Gwen. That's possible. Woohoo! No, not Roach, I don't need Roach. Stay here, Roach. Oh, goose. Man, that goose. Good dodge. So, I still am good, although I haven't played. My reflexes are not that bad. That's wonderful for my viewers, because they had to see the best Witcher, not the swolliest and... Now, Rot Fiends. Woohoo! Woohoo! Good. Now we're here. And boom! Come here, Rot Fiend. By cow. There are a lot of trees. Easily to be stuck. Oh. Good. Well, haven't been playing, enjoying battles Now, this one is really a tough one. You should be very careful here. Because there are a lot of rules. No, get off here, here. Here, buddy. Oh. Of course, my Gwen shield just got depleted. At least they didn't hit me. Don't run, go. Don't run, buddy. Oh, trophy here. One more.
Ugly bastard.
Indeed. Oh, that beautiful. Even Keira looks good. Better than this ghoul. Now. We don't hit anything. Spawn. Get. Right.
Let's try Kira's lamp.
They're onto us. They're not letting Graham in.
Quiet, fool. Babylon and the noble himself will hear you.
Nah, he sat his arse on silk pillows, likely be gobbling meat. With no notion he's coming to tear him to shreds.
Waist clear, lads. Adam!
These peasants are not so friendly. This quest will give you a lot of experience. Water hack. Water hack. Well.
Wonder what led them here. Hunger or greed.
Enhanced burrito. Always scouting the area and looting. The magic lamp.
Millie, we gotta flee. Quick now. Millie. Millie, what's with you?
I don't know. So, burning.
What? No. No, stay back!
Don't leave me!
So he got poisoned.
Peasants didn't come here to ask nicely.
Place is full of rats. As many dead as alive. I think they're feeding on...
Look, Geralt, stop. You needn't be so detailed.
Where's that noble? Lying here, quiet as a mouse, head split open like a rotted pumpkin. More like a peasant now, sloshing around in his own blood and shite. Be nothing noble about him. Too quick a death they gave him. Should have been made to suffer. He's not the end of it. Sons can suffer for him, and the daughter. To the top!
Blood. Many must have died here.
Rich folk. Doubt I'll ever understand them. Keeping rats in cages like rabbits. Let them out, maybe? Like to die of hunger if we leave them there. I'd sooner burn the vermin. Releasing them's not...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Rich folk. Doubt I'll ever understand them. Keeping rats in cages like rabbits. Let them out, maybe? Like to die of hunger if we leave them there. I'd sooner burn the vermin. Releasing them's not like to bring no good. Imagine the harm they'd do if they swam back to the village. Swam? Rats? How do you figure they'd do that? You needn't fret for them. Clever little bastards. Clever than you. They seem sluggish to you. Got the mange, maybe? Oh, and that stench!
Don't start, Annabelle. Back to your craft. Always bending my ear about fooled peasants. I'll not hear of them again. That simpleton turned your head, but one Graham hardly makes the rest courtly, one and all.
My lord, peasants. They're through the door in the tower.
Here is a secret stash that you may miss.
Gold! Piles of it! Oh, won't do the dead any good now, will it? Strange it's still here. The noble died a time ago. Who's that? Show yourself. Anyone there? Who are you?
A fresh corpse. Another important chest, enhanced thunderbolt. Increases our attack power more and the duration for which the potion is active is more too. Oh, careful! Was about to fall. Should be a ridiculous death.
Where are you? Have you got to the laboratory at the top of the tower yet?
I'm at the top. Nothing here that looks like a laboratory.
Then you've not reached the highest level. Look for a passage.
Alright.
Someone dragged something across the floor. More dragged it from one wall to the other, repeatedly. Looks like a laboratory. Pretty well equipped, too.
The Mage Alexander's Log Part 2. I never did like rats, not because of their obscene tales, but rather on account of their lively disturbing intelligence. Lively. They're always listening when a man believes he's talking only to himself. And what's worse, they seem to understand. A few days ago I caught myself talking to one of them. To a particularly large black male with a torn-off ear. At first I was overcome by panic. Was this a first manifestation of the illness? Of course, that was impossible, for I had fortified my immunity with powerful spells. Upon further consideration, I concluded it was an altogether natural reflex, one even the most learned among us find hard to restrain. We mages like to be listened to. Ha! I placed the black rat in a separate cage. The time will come for it to play a part in the test. Meanwhile, it can keep me company. And observe. I have noticed it looks with great concentration at the cages of its infected brethren, particularly those in the last stages of illness. Fascinating. Speaking of company, I have none besides the black rat and cannot hope for better. The poor mage. Serat avoids the laboratory and has expressed his desire for his daughter to steer clear of me as well. At first I thought he feared a moral scandal, which would be risible in the extreme. But he explained the true reason in due course. It seems Annabelle has always possessed a fragile psychic constitution. Observing the ill may throw her into foul humors. The peasants taking part in the study have stopped speaking to me. I don't know what they believe this little act of defiance will serve. It does me no harm, they made for lousy conversation partners. There remains of course the woman, but as for her I try to limit my contact. Maybe the woman is Keira? Because Keira was writing letters to Alexander. If you remember, in her hut we found a letter. Another day, my black rat has died. Today I found him curled up in his cage. I suspected he had become infected on accident, but during the autopsy I didn't uncover any signs of illness. He was also perfectly well fed. Strange. From a medical point of view, his death remains unexplained. Something which I must admit is discovering me. But, as mentioned previously, I am not particularly fond of rats. Maybe the rat died from empathy. Who knows? Knowledge of sorceresses. You know, here are the sorceresses that are part of this secret lodge. Philippa Eilhart, Lady of Monte Calvo, Tris Marigold, Keira Metz, Margarita Lux Antile, Sheila de Tansarvile, Sabrina, Angelo Vigo, and Francesca the bear. And Ida, elven woman, a Sarpar, Anna, and Yennefer of Vengerberg. On the summit of both mountains, they gather, which is all, to swear fealty to their devils and demons, their masters and lovers, and promise to bring doom upon those living in peace in the northern realms. It was they who stood behind the murders of Dimavend, king of Erdrim, Otus, Temeria, and many other noblemen besides. Oh man, this is a new Guardian propaganda. It was they who brought about the outbreak of yet another war with Nilfgaard. It was they who sent plague and pox against decent gods-fearing folk. Alright. Or maybe the propaganda of the eternal fire. It's religious code that we are going to meet. Yet take comfort, dear reader. Their deeds shall not go unpunished. Our gracious leader Radovid, fifth of his name, of course, that was the third option. Radovid and his agenda, sold to their lies and swore their deaths as inevitable as they shall be painful. Poof. Those Radovid. The conjunction of the spheres. Actually, in the beginning of The Witcher 3, you saw the introduction, and there you understand about the conjunction of the spheres, when the planets were aligned in a way that allows monsters and all kinds of creatures to move between the worlds. Here it is, once every few thousand years. However, a storm breaks above the cosmic sea, a storm so strong it tosses the ships towards one another, making them sail cheek by jowl. Part of the crew of one ship can at such times move to another, and some of the cargo from one ship's hold can spill onto a neighboring vessel. When the weather calms, the ships separate once again and sail their separate, variably different ways. The so-called post-conjunction beings, namely monsters such as ghouls and basilisks, are precisely such passengers from another vessel. Humans are castaways, flung against our will from somewhere far away onto a world previously inhabited by the elder races. Once here, we learned the arcane mysteries of magic, unbeknownst to us before. That word is awesome, unbeknownst. Could the worlds collide once more? Perhaps. Can this cataclysm be avoided, or the opposite, hastened? Some scholars believe there are beings who have mastered this skill, who possesses rare genes, allow which some to seize the helm of our vessel and steer us to safer waters or to our doom. Interesting. This is true. Travel between worlds. Yes. right. This is silly. Of course, running through many folk tales in a common motive of travel between worlds. By way of example, think of Orpheus, who ventured into the nether realms to save his beloved Theodore, who, like a hurricane, found himself in the dark and monotonous world of Zo, or Isila, who tumbled down a ferret hole into a land that had never heard of wonder. Also, of this ilk are the many rural legends about people captured by the Wild Hunt, only to return to their homelands after years riding the sky with the spectral cavalcade. Academia has, for the most part, dismissed these tales as mere epiphenomena of human irrationality. I, on the other hand, always operate on the assumption that a grain of truth lies in every tale, and so have decided to make it my goal to find it. After years of research, I have ascertained with great certainty that travel between worlds was once indeed possible, though only to a select few. The key is the so-called Elder Blood, or rather, to use the scholarly term, the gene of Lara Dorren, the powerful elven sorceress. Comparing her genealogical tables against all known folk tales, I have been able to determine that she and her descendants were the archetype of the world's traveling heroes of many legends. Well, well. The bearers of Lara's gene possessed an extraordinary power which allowed them to move through time and space, reach realms beyond the borders of the known world. The overwhelming majority of them, however, didn't know how to control this. It manifests itself in extreme situations, pushed out by sudden bursts of emotion or when the bearer's life was at risk. That is how the above-mentioned Orpheus, in shock after the death of his wife, could in fact journey to another world, which he foolishly mistook for the afterlife. The hurricane provided the pressure needed for Theodore, terrorized at home by his zany Uncle N, to unleash his talent and teleport to a world free from madcap antics. And if we read between the lines, we clearly see Isila was a prostitute and a fish tech addict. Ferret Hole represents hope. When she had reached a rock bottom, she whisked herself away to another universe to get sober. That's just strange. Unfortunately for any future Esilosis, the sad conclusion of my research is this. Lara Dorren's line has been irrevocably cut off. The last bearer of her gene, Cyrilla Fiona Ellen Rhiannon, heiress of the throne of Sintra, died childless many years ago. Actually, that's not true. You just lost her tracks.
Experimenting on humans. Never would have gotten away with it if the Conclave were still in charge.
So let's see this, the Mage Alexander part 1. Actually, yeah, we read the part 2, but here is the part 1. His experiments continue to return results he must consider unreliable. Methodological errors are not at fault. The problem lies in the shoddy and fallible research material I am forced to work with. Despite his prior assurance, Serat is unable to provide me with enough moderately healthy specimens for my tests. Most of the material is starved and terrified, having been dragged here straight from the dungeon. A great deal of time daily washing and delousing them before I will so much as let them step foot into my laboratory. Sterility first. Marty Sodergren managed to prove in her little-known work, the attitude of a patient undergoing treatment can have a significant impact on the battle against the disease. Unfortunately, the volunteers with which I am supplied to do not show sufficient comprehension, let alone enthusiasm, for the noble work in which they are taking part. In fact, it seems they consider the research part of their punishment. I have tried a few times, though I am but a poor speaker, to convince them that they are contributing to the eradication of one of the greatest plagues tormenting mankind. I had a distinct impression they understood little, but perhaps their stupor was merely the result of the early stages of the illness. It is impossible to achieve success without significant sacrifices. The overwhelming majority of them will have to lay down their trifling lives on the altar of learning, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Because you're not a rat and someone is not experimenting using you. And those mages, they get double standards. Before I talk to this crying spirit, there's another chest. Ladies and gentlemen, it is right here, but first, see here.
Kept in there until the end. What a shitty way to die.
Indeed. Ooh. Here it is. Beware the full moon. And then in Halberdier's armor. Huh. I think there is no way out of there. Just let me check. Oh, there is actually. There is a chest, maybe. Oh, that's dangerous. Oh no, there is no chest. Ooh. Trust me. When you hit fallen so many times, you want to be careful, especially when I'm not using control to make my Geralt not running but walking. Now let me say, because here you can die from the rats. You can, unfortunately, because they're imber rats, as you see. We have the enemy upscaling. Geralt should be careful, buddy. Right. Those rats. Oh. Do you hear this? Alright.
Why did you leave? You claimed to love me. I'm cold. Why has no one come for me? I cannot leave this place. I see no way out. Who are you? Do you seek to hurt me as well?
I'm a witcher. I want to lift the curse that grips this island. Your turn to tell me who you are. The other ghosts, they couldn't see me.
I'm special. Always was. The rare beauty. The Lord's daughter. These lands, as far as the eye can see, were ours. My family and I, we hid in the Mage's Tower to await the war's end, the end of hard times. It was not to be forever.
Mage who lived here. Who was he?
Alexander? I hardly knew him. He spent most of his time locked away in this tower. He's dead too, you know. They're all dead. Mountains of corpses, yet I stand here alone, all alone. They've all abandoned me. Even he who promised me everlasting love. You will abandon me as well.
If I can lift the curse, you yourself will be free to leave. Tell me what happened here. Peasants sailed to the island to ask for food. Is that true?
No. They came to rob and kill. They thought us rich, believed we'd stowed ourselves away here to laugh at their misery. Yet we had little food as well. Too little to share with those who came. They slaughtered everyone. I heard my father cry out, but the mage told me not to reveal myself or let anyone in. He gave me a potion. If I was discovered, I was to drink it. He said everything would be all right.
What kind of potion was it? Remember its smell? What it looked like?
I remember only that I feared to drink it.
Didn't trust the mage?
In the village, they claimed he meddled in disease. Not curing it, but causing it. They said he lured rats into the tower, infected them with the Catriona. Only rumors, surely, but I was afraid. So horribly afraid. And then I heard him. My beloved Graham. He called to me. I opened the door for him, but others rushed in. They lunged at me and...
Your beloved failed to save you. Why?
There were too many. Leave her be, he shouted. He grabbed at them, tried to stop them. They just laughed.
Did they hurt you?
They gripped my arms, tore at my dress. I managed to free myself and drink the potion, and then... nothing.
Poisoned. That how you died?
No. before I later awoke. I was alone, it was dark. Only there were rats everywhere. Dozens. Hundreds. And I couldn't move.
Sleeping potion. Effects hadn't worn off yet. You were paralyzed.
They were everywhere. All over me like insects. My face, my hands. I felt them rip open my skin, then crawl into my stomach. They tore me apart, and I could not even scream. Have I not suffered enough? Why can't I leave this place?
She's very furious.
Can you talk to the island's other specters?
No, I'm alone here. The others, they flee when they see me. I know not why. You do not fear me, do you?
No. Used to dealing with ghosts. Though, gotta admit, there's something about you. You're different. You weren't the last to die on this island. Found a fresh corpse in the tower.
The island's a dangerous place. Folk should not venture here. I too wish to leave.
The dead man. Looked like a monster had attacked him, recently. The tower home to anything else?
How am I to know? There's lots of wraiths here. I hear them whispering every night.
Not talking about ghosts. A monster who hunts here. You must have noticed something.
I don't know. I've noticed naught. Why do you ask? Why must you press me so? You're to be my savior, not my tormentor.
Something is fishy. He's acting too aggressively defensive.
How can I help you?
A curse born of hatred binds me to this place. Only love's power can hope to lift it. But who could love a wraith?
And your beloved, he dead too?
Graham? No, he lives. I would know if he died. But he fled and abandoned me. Left me here all alone.
Maybe you could strip the curse of its power by forgiving him.
Indeed.
He might cleanse the isle.
But she definitely, Geralt, is not going to forgive.
Your beloved, who is he? A noble son?
No, a poor fisherman. My father objected, strongly. He did not see us together. I miss him so. Each night I walk to the island shore to gaze upon the village. Does he remember me still?
Said before you can't leave the tower.
Did I? You must have misheard.
I don't think so.
I don't know anymore. It's all a nightmare to me.
As I see it, you're the curse's focus. The other ghosts on the island, their auras aren't nearly as strong as yours. My medallion started pulsating as soon as we started talking.
I don't know what you mean, but you do seem to know some things. You could be right. My fate is tied to the Isle, I feel that. Perhaps because I am heiress of these lands.
It could be your blood ties to the land, the base of the curse, that is. If so, forgiving Graham, laying your resentment to rest should lift it.
I loved him. I'm prepared to forgive him. But I must know that he regrets what he did. Take my bones to him. He must bury them. This will be our farewell. Will you speak to him? Will you do this for me?
I was very naive and didn't notice the details in the speech when I first played Witcher 3, and I was like, fine, alright, sure, I'll help you. And then when I delivered the bones to the home of Graham, the wraith just kills him. So not sure I trust you.
Really sad story, but something's not right. Got a feeling.
What is it?
You're not telling me everything.
Indeed.
You know the island's dangerous, but refuse to tell me about the monster that lives here.
There is no monster.
I think you're lying. Question is, why? To protect the beast? Or is it that...
Stop! I will not hear this!
I can't help you. Taking anything off this cursed island, from any cursed place, just too dangerous. And a dead woman's bones, that's asking for trouble.
They said witches are heartless beasts. Will you bring Graham here then? I so long to say goodbye.
Annabelle, listen.
You never wished to help me, and here I have someone would finally take pity on me.
Well, well. How about that? Ooh. Oh man, those rats. Oh, come on.
Damn it, gotta catch them.
Alright. Whew. I was able to survive. The rats attacks. Annabelle, come here, you raid. Resentful raid. Oh, come on, get out. Give her a punch, buddy. Now we need those enhanced models.
What was that? It sounded for a moment like you joined the race yourself.
Had to fight a pester.
A pester? And did you learn how to lift the curse before you lunged at her, sword in hand?
Yeah, we talked a bit. Looks like I need to get her beloved to the island. A fisherman named Graham.
I know the man. He lives in Oriton, village on the lakeshore. Find him immediately. We're close to unraveling this. I can feel it.
Alright, Oraton. Ah.
I saw you.
Giddy up.
Of course that you saw me invisible. I was meeting the Emperor, Emir Var Emrys. The white dragon dancing on the flames of the... what? Poles, great poles, whatever. The great flame, I don't remember him. Oh! Trader! Let me see.
Greetings!
Greetings!
Wouldn't mind a look at your stock.
Indeed. Well, nothing useful. Still, I will make you rich. I'll give you... Oh. Alright. I'll get...
Farewell.
Better trading rates. If I sell them to an armorer or blacksmith.
So you're that white one?
Yes, I'm that white one. That helps people
go to the woods.
Whoa there, Roach.
Recently you went to see him.
Aye. And I swore to bring an offering.
What is it you give the ladies as thanks?
We'll find out as soon as you need their help.
Like crickets. You chew 'em or swallow 'em whole.
Contract missing soldiers. Let it be known that the Imperial Army is in need of a man who knows the area, a hunter or a scout, for example, to help us find the missing patrol. It is possible the soldiers fell prey to a monster. If this suspicion is confirmed, anyone delivering the beast head will be paid a reward by the undersigned. Address any and no questions to the same individual. Glory to the Emperor. Milan Norris, commander of the division stationed in Oreton. Good quest, but requires us to be level 22. Indeed, indeed. A beast of Oreton. Oh, actually, yes. Oh, here it is. The Mystery of the Highway Murder says level 22.
Yeah?
Let me see what you're offering. So long.
Watch it.
I don't want to see no one. You've got to. Just leave me be.
Why you been following me?
Just wondering what you want from him. From Graham.
Me? Didn't want nothing. It's his mother be worried about him. Been locked in his hut since he came back from the Isle. Talks to no soul. Love's misery curdled his brains, I reckon. And this be the witchman, the freak of nature. Pick more in.
I want to talk.
You deaf, damn it! I told you. Who are you?
I'm a witcher.
What of it? Why should I care?
I've been to the island. I know what happened there.
What do you want of me?
Want to talk to you about Annabelle.
Annabelle? What can you know about her?
I met her. Talked to her.
Annabelle's dead. Drank poison. And I couldn't save her.
Did you love her?
Something mad. Loved her so deep I believed we'd come through, believed we'd be together. Of course, it was not to her father's liking. His daughter and a plain lout.
Of course.
What happened on Fyke Isle? You gotta tell me.
'Twere Millie, Finch and Faulkner. They rallied the men, all roughs, to go to the Isle, take back what was ours from the noble. They knew I was known at the tower, that the Lord's servants would open the gate for me since I sold them fish.
They forced you to go with them?
No, I saw my chance in it. For Annabelle and me to flee. But it all spun in a chaos. Our boys from the village, they started killing everyone. Annabelle, they wanted to rape. 'Twas then she drank the poison. Mage must have gave it her. I ran out the tower hollering that I wanted to die, cursing them all to hell. Don't force me to speak of it. No more, please.
Said you were hollering as you fled the tower, the island. What exactly did you say?
I don't remember. I wanted them to pay for what they'd done to her.
Might have cursed them. There's a powerful magic aura on Fyke Isle. Passions, evil intent, strong emotions of any kind can activate it. Your words could be the curse's source.
She took the poison because of them.
It wasn't poison. Annabelle drank a strong sleeping potion. Mage wanted to protect her, make it look like she was dead. Convinced everyone.
That means... Is she... You said you spoke to her?
Spoke to a ghost. By the time she awoke, Tower was full of cold corpses. And rats. She was warm meat. Rats ate her alive.
You mean... She was alive the whole time? But... It can't be. She was cold all through like a corpse. I shook her, begged her, open your eyes. I never thought...
It's not your fault. No guilt in not knowing, and you couldn't know it wasn't poison she drank.
Gods, what have I done? If I had stayed behind to bury her, I didn't notice she was alive.
Indeed.
It might have ended different, ended well.
If you'd stayed on the island, I doubt you'd have survived.
I'd take death over leaving her to the rats like that. But there's naught I can do about it now.
Wrong on that count. Annabelle needs you. You can help her.
She's still there? In the tower? Can I see her?
Yeah. One thing you should know, though. In death, Annabelle turned into a pesta.
A pester? What's that?
More than a restless ghost. A plague maiden. A powerful wraith filled with grief and hatred that drive her. Give her the power to sow disease and death.
She suffers. How am I to help her? Gods know I'm willing.
A curse has imprisoned Annabelle and the other spirits on the island. Love can shatter its power, free her and them.
Just as in the legends.
If you know the legends, you know one kiss is enough to break an evil spell. On one condition. That it's a kiss from someone whose love is true.
I told you. I said I love her with all my heart. Take me to her, please.
It's dangerous. There are risks involved. Understand that, don't you?
Of course. I'm no coward. I'll not run this time.
Oh, we shall see.
Nothing. Let's go.
I'm ready.
Let's go to the tower.
We wandered this place because of you!
I've waited long enough for revenge. And now he comes to us on...
Don't be afraid. You'll be fine.
Last I came through here, I still hoped Annabelle and me weren't impossible. We could have been together, and now she's dead. And it's my fault. If only I'd been able to protect her.
Indeed.
Can't change the past, but you can still help Annabelle to move on, to rest in peace.
We should have buried her.
It's terrifying here. It's too quiet.
By the way, it is possible to...
Chop, speed up. Let's get this over with.
I remember the screams. Inhuman they were. Now it's silent. They're dead.
It's
all
possible.
dead.
Don't think about that. Keep walking.
It is possible to be killed by the raids if you don't expect them or you're not prepared, because the area is so crowded with objects and you don't have enough space. You can't dodge properly. Now let us see what will happen.
You have not forgotten. You've returned for me.
Is that?
Don't you recognize me? It's me, Annabelle. The one you abandoned, remember?
I was sure you was dead. If I'd known otherwise, I'd never have left you. I'd do anything for you. I would. You know that well. Believe me, I beg you.
Prove it. Kiss me.
Graham, careful.
At last.
The curse is lifted, and Graham and Annabelle are reunited.
A happy ending. Right, essence. Dark essence.
Geralt, just when I was starting to miss you.
Tell me more about this mage from the Isle. Were you two close?
Never expected you'd take such an interest in my private life.
More interested to know if you bonded, as fellow magic practitioners.
Well, we had little in common in that arena. Oh, Alexander was one of those anxious experimenters, forever short on sleep. The kind that thinks perfect happiness is an isolated tower and a full set of vials and alembics.
Well.
Fyke Isle's free of its curse.
Able to persuade Graham to go to the tower with you? Did you mention there was a pester involved?
He knew the risks, but he'd also heard lots of stories about true love, whose kiss can break any spell. Can't help thinking that gave him courage.
And? It ended well?
Depends how you look at it. Curse is lifted, Annabelle's spirit is left in peace. But Graham's dead.
Oh, poor boy. Still, he's proved that true love may be more common than some suppose.
Indeed.
One thing's bothering me.
What?
Annabelle said Alexander was studying diseases. She mentioned Catriona. You knew this?
All the mages knew about it. Alexander was a highly regarded epidemiologist. I would have given anything for an opportunity to study his notes, but he guarded them jealously.
The lamp. What do you want to do with it?
As I said, you may keep it. I don't believe I shall need it anymore, given the Isle's been cleansed. I actually regret not going there with you. Perhaps we can make up for that lost time now.
All right. Time I was on my way.
Perhaps you'd stay just a bit longer? There's one small favor you might yet do for me.
What is it?
I put in an order for a few substances from Novigrad. The trader was due to be here yesterday, but has yet to arrive. Could you see what happened? The package is rather important to me.
Why not? If he was coming here from Novigrad, he must have passed through Blackbow. I'll check the area.
Thank you. I shall be ever so grateful.
A favor for a friend.
Ask a service of the Witcher, the Pella must. A witcherly service, that's to say.
What do you need? Tell me.
A man who fears no evil the Pella needs. Forefathers' Eve is nigh. We've rites to conduct. Wandering souls to emerge. Damned souls, too. We've the circle to protect from these wretches.
What do you give me? Alright.
Seems like you could use a witcher, so yeah, I'll help.
You'd not refuse. The Pella knew. The time's come to gather the folk. Across the lake we must journey, to Fyke Isle. There in the circle of stones we shall meet.
The sooner we resolve this, the better. Best do it tonight, at midnight.
It's already midnight. But still. First, I'm going to make Keira's quest. And then we will go and help the Pella that just arrives out of nowhere. And he knows where we are. Oh well. A bandit. Huh? More bandits?
Go for the whoreson's eyes!
That's enough of that.
There are more bandits. Oh.
We'll flail your skin off.
Bye bye bandits. I remember when I first started the game, oh, it was hard. Because I wasn't clever enough to use art. And my Counter-Strike skills are not that good. But that's how you can... That's how you can make them fall from their horses.
Veered off the road at high speed. Doesn't bode well.
Let us see.
Yeah, merchant traveling across Velen alone. No way that was gonna end well.
A rot fiend?
Hid and waited for help. It never came. Human. That's Velen for you. Can't be far. Wouldn't have made it.
Volker, we've hit gold, old friend. Not only have we sold all of our stock, we have sold it for 3 times its cost. Our customer wants it all. Wine from Buclair, everything from Beaujolais, Nouveau to the oldest vintages. White, red rose, you name it. Catablipus meat, pickled beef, pepper, cinnamon, cloves. I'm telling you, old friend, everything. There's one catch, however. We must deliver the goods to Velen, to a village called Midcaps. I know, dangerous, what with the war and all, but think of the coin. I've managed to secure a pass that will get you across the Panther. Then it's just a hop, skip and a jump, and you're there. You'll be fine. Klaus, postscript, we'll split the proceeds 50-50. Now let's see. Package.
Leftovers, cuts of meat. Cataplepus? Wonder what spell requires that. Package still intact. Don't sense anything magic, though. Wonder how Keira will explain this one.
Indeed. We're almost to level 11. And now we need 1,500 experience for every level. Not only 1,000.
Geralt, just when I was starting to miss you.
A déjà vu.
Got those, substances you wanted?
Splendid. I can finally begin my study of double arboreal racination patterns. But first, I'll...
Brew yourself a mug of mulled wine? Saw what the wagon was carrying. Exquisite meats, expensive wines, Zerrikanian spices. Not a speck of magic. Care to tell me what you're up to?
I would rather show you, but you must wait a bit.
Color me intrigued. Fine, I'll wait.
Then shoo, outside.
Gonna slip into something more comfortable?
Later. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Well, go on, out. You've been patient, thank you. It's almost ready.
Huh? If I wanted to see white mice, I'd just get drunk.
Note that I said almost. Now don't interrupt.
The king Vin Hathel.
Third mouse. What happened to it?
The spell has a 66.67% chance of success. I always use one more than I need, just in case.
So where did... Keira, can I explain what's going on here?
Know the fairy tale about Cinderella?
Mm-hmm. True story it's based on, too. A Zoogle cropped up in a palace pond and ate Princess Cinderella whole.
Whoa.
Left behind one slipper, so...
I beg you, not another word about Zoogles. Now, to return to the fairy tale, I'd like to escape these ghastly swamps for one magical night. I don't need a fairy godmother, I'll cast the spells myself. But I could use a Prince Charming. It just so happens you're the only decent candidate in all Velen. So, what do you say to a moonlight ride on horseback? And dinner?
If you select the second option, we will receive a quest failed.
Sounds tempting. So tempting, I don't think I can refuse.
You will get out.
Before we go, there's one more thing.
Gotta transform a pumpkin into a carriage?
No. I shall transform our rancid rags into something more glamorous. Don't wince. It'll only be an illusion, won't hurt a bit. And at dawn, everything will return to normal.
No way. Don't like having spells cast on me. Besides, my clothes aren't rancid.
Debatable. But let's not argue and ruin the mood. Well, off we go. Dinner's waiting. Last one there does the dishes.
Come on.
Alright. Let's try to win this race. Man. This horse was crazy. Oh, Hangman. Those soldiers. Come on, horsey. Come on. Good. Well, well. A good dinner.
Congratulations. You'd make an excellent jockey.
If only I were a foot shorter and 5 stone lighter.
Well, yes. But then I'd not have invited you here. Now do you see why I needed those substances?
Could have just told me what this was about right up.
Geralt, run to the woods and fetch my shopping. I'd like to make dinner. Well, would you have helped?
If I'd known I'd get a glass of Zubaram dry in return, of course.
Well, well, never took you for a wine connoisseur.
Think witchers suck the marrow out of drowner bones and wash it down with puddle water?
More or less. Well, we've chatted long enough on empty stomachs. Let's dig in.
Must have cost you a small fortune. Sure you don't need me to pitch in?
Please, I manage. You know, a dozen eggs here, a cock or gander there. Besides, my finances are about to improve.
How, if you don't mind my asking? I mean, you'd think the only work to be had in Velen would be in farming.
Very true. So, I've two options. I can either start cultivating turnips or leave. But that's not what I wish to discuss. Thank you once again, Geralt, for your help with the tower. You were fabulous.
Not the first curse I've lifted.
But among the most difficult, correct? What happened on that island? Why, I shiver at the thought. And the laboratory. I sincerely hope you burnt everything. The cages, the corpses, the papers.
Didn't destroy that workshop, if that's what you're asking. Didn't see any reason to.
If Alexander's findings were to fall into the wrong hands, Although, Fyke Isle has a terrible reputation. None even dare go there. Perhaps there's nothing to worry about. I'm sorry. Such a gloomy subject to broach. I simply shouldn't have, not during our romantic dinner.
Romantic? Thought we came here as friends.
Friends. With benefits. So?
No way. I don't like Keira. He's always using people to achieve her goals. Huh. So the first one, you will have sex with her. But the third one,
Sorry, there's someone
is
else.
crushing for her.
So what? Oh, Geralt. You're so old-fashioned.
Indeed.
Will you at least lie down and gaze at the stars with me?
Why not?
Know what they call that constellation in Zerrikania?
Dragon something, I bet.
No, it has a different name. Bit indecent, actually. Lean closer and I'll whisper it in your ear. Egfain Nave.
Keira? Where? Put me to sleep with a spell. Means she's up to something. Fyke Isle. The tower.
Let us see. What is Keira doing there? Probably reading Alexander's work. A big lengthy video, but I wanted to finish everything with Keira. Now the goose are level 11, of course. Because we have an enemy upscaling.
A light. Top floor of the tower. So, found what you were looking for?
Yes, Thanks for asking. How are you feeling? Sleep well?
What do you want with those papers?
Why, I aim to use them to continue important work that a man's tragic death put on hold. Alexander was studying the Catriona plague. I'll use his notes to produce medication, perhaps a cure, or at least a vaccine.
Mm-hmm. Strictly humanitarian motivations, is that it?
No, strictly selfish ones. The mighty would pay willingly for such a remedy. Can you imagine how much? Take Radovid, for instance. Why, he might even consider forgetting my past associations with the Lodge.
Radovid doesn't forget, and Radovid doesn't forgive, especially when it comes to sorceresses.
He'll make an exception for me. He'll have to. I have something he wants.
Please, you don't believe that.
Well, you believe Yennefer will stop treating you like a dog someday. Don't see me laughing. I'm going to see Radovid, tell him of this research, whether you like it or not.
If you select the first option, you're gonna fight with Keira. And I was amazed the first time because you had to kill it.
This is suicide, Keira. You'll wind up tied to a stake, burned to bolster the morals of the masses while entertaining them.
Indeed.
Shut up for a moment and look at me. See this? Bedbugs, Geralt. Bloody bedbugs. I, Keira Metz, advisor to Foltest, a member of the Lodge of Sorceresses, have bedbugs. Think what you will, but I'll not stay in this bloody swamp one day more. Not one day. I shall cross the Pontar, and that means Radovid's men will find me sooner or later. Don't you understand? I don't have a choice. I will have to parley.
Expect me to beat you. That's too inhuman.
Got another option. Go to Kaer Morhen.
You believe I'd be safe there?
Long as you don't piss Lambert off, yes. Emir, Radovid, neither will be able to reach you. Find little in the way of luxury there, but we do have clean sheets.
It's a long way, well beyond the dividing line. But if I keep to the woods until I reach the Kestrel Mountains, I should pass through unnoticed. So be it. Seems I find it hard to refuse you, handsome. You've clearly a notion of what women want, how they think.
Yeah, kinda. So before I go, I'll need you to hand me those notes.
All right, take them already. Farewell, Geralt. Or rather, see you soon.
Now we save Keira. She didn't die from Radovid's hands. And from ours too. That's the only way to save her. If you care at least a little for her. Alexander notes. Oh, nothing so interesting. Vaccines, salons. Or Father Sif. And I should definitely finish these ones because I'm level 11 and the level difference is 5, and if I reach level 12 I won't get the full experience from these two quests. But meet the Pearl in the Stone Circle on the Fire Cow at midnight. Maybe it's better to first First, Alright, I'll finish the Forefather's Thief, and then we'll go with the Ladies of the Wood, with those crowns. Thank you for watching. I should prepare. I'll see you soon.